I want to talk to you a little bit about Greenland, but I want to start in a really unusual place. I want to start with magic words. In fact, one magic word, abracadabra. You say the magic word and it happens, okay? You just have to, what's the magic word? Magic word is abracadabra. Poof, bunny out of the hat, whatever it is. Abracadabra is the root of it is an actual word. It's Aramaic, and I believe some of the roots can also be found in Hebrew, but in Aramaic, it is avracadabra. And, us Westerners, we're all like me. We just mispronounce everything. We're like, abracadabra, that's what he said. But it actually means, and I'm trying to remember this off the top of my head, abracadabra actually means something like, it was created because I spoke it. I spoke it and it was created. Okay? That's I am that I am. That's the power of God. That's not magic. That's believe it and it shall be. Okay? That's the way humans work. We are seeing a master magician, if you will, in action every day. Donald Trump knows the power of his words. He knows them. When I have talked to him about his safety, he stops me every time. Don't want to talk about it, Glenn. Don't want to talk about it. Mr. President, I just want to make sure, I don't want to talk about it. He will not put those things out. Believe me, he has others talking about it, but he does not want to put that kind of stuff out in the universe. He believes in the power of thought and the power of words. So why am I telling you about abracadabra? Because have you noticed he says things over and over again, and they seem to just happen? Couple of reasons. The power of his own words, the power of knowing what I want, saying it, believing it, and then making it happen. Surrounding myself with people who are also believers in what I say, because if we all believe, it will happen. We are a failing empire. We are a crumbling nation. You know what? He never says that. And quite honestly, this week, I don't feel like we are a fading empire or a crumbling nation or a second-rate anything. I feel like we are on the verge of, if this stuff works, we are on the verge of being a renewed nation with 100-year story, completely new story, that will be as amazing as the last 100 years. He's speaking it into existence. He keeps speaking something into existence, and that's Greenland. We need Greenland. We need Greenland. Greenland should be a 51st state. Greenland should be a protectorate. Greenland, you know what? We really need Greenland because of their rare earth minerals. I believe we do need Greenland, not as a 51st state, maybe as a protectorate. It would be nice. Not by force, not by military. Purchase, maybe. You could make everybody, you could offer everybody there $10 million. And what is it? $500 billion? You'd get Greenland and give everybody, you get $10 million. Every citizen gets $10 million. What citizen's going to say no to that? And we're not going to control your country. You can run your country whatever way you want, but you're a protectorate of ours right now. That's a really good deal for them and for us. If we bought it like we did in Alaska, at $1 trillion, it's a very good deal for the United States. It has rare earth minerals, and it is strategically placed in such a place that it is essential for us if you are preparing for war. I believe, because this is what history teaches us, as empires begin to become unstable, and we all are, there is, unlike any other time in human history, the Roman Empire is falling, some other empire is coming up. Right now, it should be China coming up as we are declining. That's what everybody predicted. But China made all of the same stupid mistakes that we made, financial and everything else. They're not coming up. Everybody's trying to speak that into existence, but it's not true. They're not coming up. But usually what happens is one empire comes down, the other one is rising, and somebody says in the rising empire, you better take them out before this gets ugly, because it'll be, their back will be against the wall and they don't want to be a failing empire, so take them. That's what we should see if China is rising. But I don't know if that's going to happen, because everyone, for the first time in human history, every nation is collapsing for the same reasons at the same time. But again, if you cobble together enough power and we are weak, you would see Russia, you'd see, what did I say it was? CRINC, China, Russia, Iran, and North Korea, CRINC. You would see that Axis power try to take the West. Okay. So the best thing you can do is build the arsenal for democracy. That's what FDR did. That's what he said in 1940. We're going to build the arsenal of democracy. We're going to build ships for the rest of the world. We're going to build guns for the rest of the world. When we were training our military in 1939, 1940, we were using broomsticks. We didn't even have rifles for our military. Okay. You could bring your rifle in from home to use it and train with that. A lot of our soldiers used their own rifles at the very beginning. Because we weren't prepared. He is preparing us for a couple of things. A digital war where we are fighting who's going to win AI. A currency war, whose currency is going to be dominant. Who's going to actually be responsible for the financial well-being of at least the Western world. And I think a hot war. And so he is taking all of the assets that we need, oil, energy, that's coal, electricity, nuclear, all kinds of tech, not just AI, but military tech. Did you see what he said yesterday? He said yesterday, we have a problem with our military industrial complex. It's too slow. Hurry up. He is preparing for any eventuality. And he's carving out not an empire, I don't think. I think he is carving out the Western world and making strategic partnerships like he did with Argentina. We made them a big loan because they were struggling. We're not trying to control Argentina. I don't want to control Argentina, but I want them as an ally. Same with Venezuela. I don't want to run your country, but I want you as an ally. And, Cuba, I don't want you. No communism here, not in this sector. The other reason why I think Greenland wouldn't be as important if NATO wasn't useless. I think he has written off Europe. I have. I don't know about you, but I've written off Europe. Europe's not going to be any help. They're going to be a nuclear-armed Islamic caliphate in 10 years. If they don't change their ways, that's what it will be. That's not helpful. Denmark. Denmark's not Denmark anymore. What is Denmark? It is all of these countries are collapsing. They are absolutely delusional. They are becoming a totalitarian European Union that is going into a fascistic sort of way, complete control, complete anathema to freedom. At least that's their plan with the WEF. And he's written that off. We're not going to be allies with you guys. We're not. You're going to separate yourself from us. We're not going to. And so I don't want you to have all of those strategic reserves. We're willing to buy them from you. We're willing to buy Greenland. We're willing to make them a protectorate. They can run their own thing, but they're not going to Europe. They're coming here. And I'm really torn. We just did a... Jason, do you have the Glen AI?
I do. You want that now?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's play a clip of this. This is from today. It'll come out later today.
Here it is.
Greenland, the icy keystone in America's new strategy. You probably didn't wake up this morning asking yourself, what's going on in Greenland? I get that. But by the end of this episode, you're going to be wondering why we've ignored it for so long. Because what's happening up there, that icy, rugged rock floating quietly at the top of the world, is starting to shape the future of American power in ways that most of us aren't even talking about yet.
Okay, this is the topic of Glen AI. Glen AI is proprietary technology that we have developed, and I'm spending a lot of money on R&D to make it the premier technology for us, at least. It has 30 years of everything I've ever said, everything I've ever written, and we can internally ask it, tell me about Greenland, what is right, what do you know historically, et cetera, and it will produce a 10-minute podcast for you to give a deeper thing on something I don't have time to record myself, but I look it out. I mean, I actually oversaw that one myself. And that's just giving you a tutorial on what is this argument really about? Why is it important? It goes into a very clear thing that I want to make very clear. None of this matters if we betray who we are. None of this matters if we have all the rare earth minerals and all of the oil and all of the power in the West and everything else. None of it matters if we don't have the Constitution. If we are not a nation of laws, but we're a nation that just says, well, we need it this time. Be very, very careful. No, there are no exceptions to the rules of the Constitution. So I lay out in that, these are things we must never violate. These are things he must not do to get those rare earth minerals, and here are some things he can do. Like I said, I think we should buy it. I think we could be a protectorate, but we should negotiate with them. We could buy it like we bought Alaska, and it would be at really almost any price at this point. What's another $1 trillion? Nothing when you have nothing, but we should buy it. It's a great investment if they want to sell it. But we cannot send our military in. We can't take it. It would violate all of our principles. But it is important to the strategy if we want another American century and you want the Western world to survive.
I have a question. Why do you suppose Greenland and Denmark appear to be more threatened by Trump trying to make Greenland a protectorate than China or Russia invading? I don't understand why they appear to be more threatened by that than actual enemies.
Because I think the world, the Western world, especially European, is so far gone and so deeply down the road of fascism, authoritarianism, no freedom of speech. We've got to control this. That China's model looks much better to them than the messy freedom model, because they're collapsing and they know what their solution is as they collapse. More control, shut the people down, corral the people, don't let the people talk, arrest the people. All of these things that is in the wheelhouse of China. And freedom is messy. You don't know how it's all going to work out. They're so afraid of losing anything. They will compromise with any. I mean, look at what the King of England now, Charles. He is playing footsie with the Islamists of England. Do you think the Islamists are going to love the royal family? He's playing footsie with bringing people in from parts of the world. The reason why Elizabeth survived, why Queen Victoria survived when all of the others were losing their heads, the reason why she survived is because the English people are different. The culture is different. They're not, they tolerate an awful lot, and they're into their heritage, etc. You supplant that, you take that and rip that out, and you replace it with people of a different culture. They're going to round up the royal family, and it will end up like the Romanovs. But they're playing footsies with them. They're fine with all of it. they're just blind to what history would teach you.